I love what you said. It doesn't love you back. Okay, so in order to calculate calories per gram, we're going to go to transform and compute. The target value would be calories per gram, CPG. So how do you calculate calories per gram? Grams per serving size, or was it, well, it's calories, right? So it's calories, so total calories in the food, divided by grams. So far, so good? See it okay. And over here, it'll produce a new variable called calories per gram. 5 calories per gram. Nice. Anyway, so wait, a pure fat is 9 calories per gram. That's got 5. Well, you have to look at yourself. Transform compute. And then what's the next one you want to do? You can look at fat per gram. FPG. What's your FPG? Oh, sorry. Oh, it's horrible to calculate your own fat per gram. Out of your body, what percentage of your body is fat? 64. Sorry. So then we go again. This is really simple to do this, but all you're doing is really calculating. Let's see. What's the next one that we want? There's fat. Let's go sodium. And so we change that to sodium. Now this is milligrams, but again, so the numbers will look a little funny. But that's milligrams of sodium per gram. So the numbers look high, but it's really milligrams. Transform, compute variables. And then what's the last one we want? Oh, carbs. Carb per gram. Why am I making it scaled per gram? You really want to. But it doesn't change the proportional ratios. It just changes the absolute number. So I always like it when if you sort this way for sodium, sort ascending. There's lots of food that have no sodium, but sort descending. 3.8 grams of salt. That's 3 sugar cubes worth of salt. A sugar cube of salt is about a gram. Yummy. Okay. Yeah, it's a bouillon cube. Okay. Transform, compute variables. And the last one would be protein. If you want to look at fiber, are you welcome to look at fiber as well? Sure. You can look at whatever you want. I don't have Wings and Things because Wings and Things doesn't put the nutritional information on the web. Okay. So now, after you've done that, see, this has a little asterisk on it, so I'm going to hit save. Now my calories per gram are saved. Do I have to redo those every time I sort? Do I have to redo those every time I sort? No, because the calories per gram is consistent. It's just the same as the height and weight ratios. So these are all they're going to stay the same. And what's going to happen is if I want to make my z-scores, if I just make a compare mean, let's see, so descriptive statistics, descriptives, and I'm going to make z-scores, I can make z-scores of all my per gram. Hit OK. What's the minimum? Holy crap. That's his minimum maximum. Here's my mean, and here's my standard deviation. The average sodium, milligrams of sodium per gram is 4, but the standard deviation is 3. Should we make that histogram just to see what's going on? Yeah. So we'll go to graphs real quick, and histogram. How do I know to make a histogram to see that? So I'm going to put my sodium on there. Okay. This is sodiums per gram, not the z-scores yet. We'll look at the z-scores in a second. And we'll scroll down here. Something salty. Let me grab this and move it over here. What's going on? How do we find who this is? Go back and look at the data. Maybe there's something wrong in the data to produce that. Again, sometimes things change in the data. Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to play with it. I'm like, no, you can't play with my toy. I want to play. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to sodium and look at sodium per gram. Sort descending. Sure enough, there's something that has 53. What would that be? Does that explain it? Okay. Again, so is that legitimate real data? Absolutely. Can we explain why that data is out there? It's soy sauce. Again, and so it's a legitimate data point, so is this the way the data looks? Yes. So if we don't want that in there, all we have to do is select cases, and if food doesn't equal, there's a not equal sign in here somewhere. Well, I'm not gonna do that right now. We can just select out the extras. An extra is anything that is a, you can actually look at this, sort by descending. Extras are anything like buffalo sauce, bacon strips, low-fat dressing, vinaigrette, croutons. Or maybe bacons or extra things are fun to look at, because maybe there's some interesting things in extras. Honey-flavored dippin' sauce from Burger King. Dippin' sauce. It's important to have the N there, no G. There's apostrophe, but the computer filtered it out. But anyway, so by looking at this, you can actually start to make graphs. And making graphs of the z-scores is kind of fun. So now this is how you do it. Legacy, and then you go to bar graph. Clustered summaries of separate variables. Because I've made z-scores, can I put lots of variables on the same axis? Because I made z-scores, I can put lots of variables on the same axis. What's the mean of a distribution of z-scores? 0. The mean of a distribution of z-scores is 0. What's the standard deviation of a distribution of z-scores? 1. Always. So I can put them all in the same category. So my bars represent my z-scores. Protein, carbs, sodium, fat, and calories. My category would be what type of food. And hit OK. Now, when you look at this graph, chips and fry are very high in calories, fat, sodium, and carbs, and very low in protein. I'd hope. Okay? Food is pretty much normal, except it's a lot higher than these in protein. Desserts. Where's the majority of the calories coming from in desserts? Carbohydrates. Can you see how this graph lets you recognize immediately which food characteristics have what values? Above the mean means higher relative to everybody else. Below the mean means lower than everybody else. Look at drinks. Wow. Well, that's calories per gram compared to things like desserts, and especially chips and fries. Why do you think ordering chips and fries with your food is probably not the best? It has a lot of calories per gram. So can you eat a lot of calories eating chips without getting that much food? Deep fried Twinkie. Anyway, look at the extras. What are the extras very high on? Calories, fat, and sodium. Do you think this bar is represented by the soy sauce, though? Would that add some error to that distribution? Absolutely. But they're very low on protein. Okay, why does fast food make you hungry 5 minutes after eating it? It's low on protein. Even the food itself, it's really not that high on protein, because most of the stuff in fat food is low on protein. Okay. So, I'm going to stop.